You know, the longer I've been around airports, the more I've noticed a quiet pattern. The people who often need the most help are usually told the least. And senior travelers, especially those flying alone, returning to travel after a long break, or navigating today's confusing airport systems, are almost never shown the full picture. Not because the help doesn't exist, but because there's no incentive to talk about it. Here's a truth most travelers never hear out loud. Airports are not designed for comfort. They're designed for flow, speed, efficiency, moving large numbers of people from one point to another as fast as possible. And anything that slows that flow, extra assistance, personal explanations, flexibility, or accommodations, tends to get buried behind fine print, confusing language, or policies no one explains unless you ask the right way. But here's the part that changes everything. Senior travelers actually have more rights than most people realize. Real ones, legitimate ones, not favors, not loopholes, not special treatment. And today, I'm going to reveal 12 forgotten senior travel rights that airports rarely mention, but must honor. By the end of this video, you'll know how to move through airports with more comfort, more dignity, and far less stress. Not by arguing, not by demanding, just by knowing what you're already entitled to and how to calmly ask for it. These first 3 forgotten rights all focus on one powerful idea. You don't have to accept stress as part of flying. Right number 1, the right to a human check-in, not a kiosk. Walk into almost any airport today and you're pushed toward machines. Scan this, rescan that, fix the error yourself. But here's what airlines rarely say out loud. You are not required to use a kiosk. If the machine feels rushed, confusing, or stressful, you can go directly to a staffed counter and request full-service check-in. No extra fee, no explanation needed. Behind the scenes, airlines know kiosks misread passports, crash, and cause errors. When that happens, human agents fix it anyway. Starting with a human often saves time and prevents mistakes. Imagine beginning your trip by handing over your documents, speaking calmly, and letting someone else handle the details correctly the first time. Right number 2, the right to special seating, even when the plane looks full. Here's an insider truth most travelers never hear. Airlines almost always reserve a block of seats for accessibility, medical needs, or mobility considerations. These aren't paid upgrades. They're protected seats, often closer to the front, near restrooms, or easier to access. Seniors can request these seats for joint pain, balance issues, breathing difficulties, or reduced walking endurance. Airlines keep these seats unassigned until the last minute to comply with accessibility rules. Ask early during booking or check-in, or even at the gate, and there's a high chance they'll accommodate you. Most passengers never ask, which is why these seats appear full. They're waiting for those who know their rights. Imagine boarding and being guided directly to a comfortable seat where you can settle without stress or strain. By simply asking, you unlock comfort and dignity, even on a crowded flight. Right number 3, the right to keep your seat quality after delays or aircraft changes. When flights are delayed or aircraft are swapped, seats shift fast. But here's a critical right many travelers don't know. You don't have to accept a worse seat. Operational guidelines require airlines to attempt to keep seniors in the same seat quality or better. An aisle should stay an aisle. A forward seat shouldn't become the back row. And when you calmly speak up, agents often prioritize fixing it. These first rights do something powerful. They move you from reacting to the system to quietly guiding it. One of the biggest reasons seniors struggle in airports has nothing to do with rules or tickets. It has to do with the body. Long walks, hard floors, tight connections, standing in lines that never seem to move. And yet, many seniors push through discomfort because of one quiet thought: I don't want to be a burden. Here's the truth. You are allowed to ask for help without explaining yourself. Right number 4, the right to mobility assistance without documentation. You do not need a doctor's note or a visible disability to request help. If walking long distances is uncomfortable, standing causes pain, or you feel safer with support, You can ask for wheelchair or cart assistance anywhere in the airport. This help can cover check-in to security, security to the gate, boarding, connections, and arrival. Baggage claim. Airlines built this system because modern airports are physically demanding. Using mobility assistance doesn't inconvenience anyone. It keeps traffic flowing smoothly while ensuring your comfort and safety. Imagine moving through the airport at a comfortable pace without rushing, knowing trained staff are there to support you. This is not a favor. It's your right as a traveler. Right number 5. The right to an alternative TSA screening method. Many seniors assume TSA screening is a one-size-fits-all process, but it's not. If you have difficulty raising your arms, standing for long periods, removing shoes, bending, or maintaining balance, TSA is required to offer alternative screening options. You don't need to explain your medical details. A simple, polite request is enough. You can ask for a chair to sit in during the scan, a modified body scan that accommodates your mobility, a pat-down instead of movements that are painful or unsafe. TSA officers are trained for these situations and often feel relieved when seniors ask up front because it keeps the process calm, safe, and predictable for everyone. Imagine walking through security without twisting, straining, or feeling rushed. Your mobility aid can stay with you. You can maintain dignity, stay steady, and move through the checkpoint with confidence. This isn't a favor. It's your legal right as a traveler, designed to make the airport experience safer and more comfortable. Right number 6. The right to gate-to-gate or connection assistance. During layovers, seniors often feel the most stress, especially in large or unfamiliar airports. But you can request gate-to-gate assistance, meaning someone meets you at the aircraft door and helps you reach your next gate. No rushing, no getting lost, no struggling through crowds. These rights aren't charity. They exist because airports function better when people move safely and confidently. And you are allowed to be part of that system, comfortably. Let's pause for just a moment, because if any of this feels surprising, you're not behind, and you're not alone. Most travelers are never told these things. Not because the rights don't exist, but because airports move fast and explanations slow everything down. What you've heard so far isn't about special treatment. It's about understanding how the system actually works and where you fit inside it. These rights exist because airports know their spaces are demanding, especially for bodies that deserve a little more care and time. And here's the important part. The most powerful rights are still ahead. The ones that affect how you're treated during boarding, on the plane, and when things don't go as planned. Now let's continue, because the next rights are the ones airlines quietly hope you never think to ask about. Right number 7, the right to assistance with carry-ons and overhead bins. Lifting carry-ons into overhead bins is one of the most common causes of in-flight injuries, especially for seniors. That's why flight attendants are trained and required to assist when needed. If a bag feels heavy, awkward, or difficult to lift, you are fully allowed to ask for help placing it in the bin or removing it later. Many seniors hesitate because they don't want to assume help or seem incapable. But the truth is, flight attendants often wait for permission so they don't offend anyone. A simple, calm request, "Could you help me lift this bag when you have a moment?" is all that's needed. If bins are full or your bag doesn't fit, you also have the right to free gate checking. Your bag is taken at the aircraft door and returned at your arrival gate. No fees, no stress. This isn't a favor or special treatment. It's a safety measure designed to protect passengers and crew from injury while keeping the boarding process smooth and efficient. Imagine stepping into the aisle, knowing you won't strain yourself, and feeling confident that trained staff will support you. This small action can prevent discomfort, injury, and stress before the flight even takes off. Right number 8, the right to comfort or compensation during long delays. Flight delays, cancellations, and extended tarmac waits are stressful for everyone. But seniors have options that most travelers never hear about. Depending on the situation, you may request seating during long waits instead of standing, water or medication access, meal vouchers for extended delays, hotel accommodations if overnight stays are needed, rebooking assistance, even on another airline if necessary, Airlines rarely announce these options because most travelers don't ask, but agents can provide them when prompted. Knowing your rights turns uncertainty into predictability, which reduces stress, protects energy, and preserves dignity during already challenging moments. By understanding and asserting these rights, seniors can stay comfortable, maintain control, and feel empowered even when the airport system throws unexpected obstacles in their way. A calm, confident request often unlocks solutions that many passengers never even realize exist. Right number 9, the right to medication priority and special handling. Medical items follow different rules. Liquids for medical use are exempt from standard limits. And on many aircraft, flight attendants can store heat-sensitive medications in secure galley coolers when space allows. You can also request water for medications at specific times and ask for help accessing them when needed. Flight attendants are trained to balance safety rules with medical necessity, and they take that responsibility seriously. These rights restore something important in the air: confidence that your health and safety come first. The final set of rights aren't written in bold letters on airport signs. They don't appear on kiosks or boarding passes. But they may be the most important of all, because they're about how you're treated, not where you're seated. Right number 10, the right to refuse a bad solution. When something goes wrong, a delay, a cancellation, a rushed rebooking, airlines often offer the fastest solution, not necessarily the best one for your comfort or needs, but you are fully allowed to say, calmly and clearly, "That won't work for me. What other options are available?" This isn't confrontation. It's collaboration. By asking this question, agents frequently search deeper into their system and uncover alternatives that weren't offered initially. Better seats, earlier connections, or more comfortable arrangements. Refusing a bad solution protects not just your physical comfort, but your energy, health, and peace of mind, turning what could be a stressful delay into a manageable experience. It signals that you value yourself, and the staff often respond positively when someone advocates calmly. Right number 11, the right to clear explanations and patience. Airports are noisy, announcements overlap, lines move fast, instructions come in a rush, and it's easy to feel confused, overwhelmed, or even talked down to, especially when you're trying to navigate unfamiliar terminals or complicated procedures. But you have the right to ask someone to slow down, repeat information, or explain something again, without embarrassment or apology. Clear communication isn't a favor. It's part of respectful service that every traveler deserves. When you request clarity, something subtle but powerful happens. The dynamic of the interaction changes immediately. Staff often respond more patiently and attentively. You gain confidence, control, and a sense of calm. You can ask questions about forms, boarding procedures, security steps, or gate instructions, knowing it's your right to fully understand before moving on. Think of it this way: the way information is delivered matters just as much as the information itself. By asserting this right, you transform what could be a stressful, confusing situation into a manageable, dignified, and even reassuring experience, all without confrontation. You stay informed, prepared, and in charge of your journey simply by asking for the clarity you deserve. Right number 12, the right to slow the process without shame. Airports are built for speed, efficiency, and constant movement. But seniors are allowed to move at their own pace. You don't have to push your body through a system it wasn't designed for. You don't have to mask fatigue, ignore discomfort, or pretend that standing for long stretches or walking long corridors is effortless. You have the right to slow down, take a breath, pause when needed, and move carefully, without feeling rushed or judged. Whether it's navigating security, walking to your gate, or boarding the aircraft, you can honor your own pace and still stay within the system. Staff are trained to accommodate these situations, and politely asserting your needs helps them provide a safer, smoother experience. These rights transform the way you travel. They shift you from a passive passenger to a calm, confident advocate, someone who navigates airports on their terms, preserving energy, safety, and dignity every step of the way. Final thoughts. Remember what we said at the start. Airports are built for flow, not comfort. But seniors, whether 60, 70, or 80 plus, have real rights. Rights that let you slow down, get proper seating, ask for help, and keep your dignity intact. If there's one takeaway, it's this simple phrase: what are my options? Ask it at the counter, at security, at the gate, or on the plane. That one question opens doors, reveals hidden policies, and lets agents help you the way they want to. Now share your story in the comments. What's the best free thing you've ever been given on a flight? Your experience can help others travel smarter. Subscribe to our channel and fly with confidence every time.